Hey, welcome back to another video. Today, we're gonna dive into a video that actually a lot of people have been asking for, the Philly suburbs versus the Jersey suburbs. So whether you're moving soon or even if you're just curious about what life over the river is like, we're gonna break it down into the top 5 major differences to help you decide which side of the bridge is right for you. Let's get into the video. First up, let's talk about the cost of living because this is going to be a huge factor when deciding anywhere where to live. So you're going to have the Philly suburbs or the Jersey suburbs. Your first question might be, which one's cheaper? And honestly, the answer is that it's going to really depend. And here's going to be a pretty good breakdown of why exactly it depends. Let's start with property taxes. In New Jersey is known for having some of the highest property taxes in the country. You're going to have an average of 2.47% property tax rate. And to give you an example, real life example, if you're looking at a home around $400,000 in say Cherry Hill, you're going to be looking at a yearly and annually property tax of about $9,880 a year, just in property taxes. Now, if you compare that to a home in Pennsylvania suburbs, average property tax rate is going to be about 1.58%. That same $400,000 house, maybe in somewhere like Haverford, your property taxes are going to be closer to $6,320 a year. So you're going to save a few $1,000s a year just in property taxes by living in PA. Gas prices, it's going to be one of those smaller things that just add up over time. In Jersey, gas is generally a little bit cheaper. Right now, it's about $3.50 a gallon in Jersey. In PA, it's about $3.70 a gallon. So it's not going to seem like a huge difference when you're actually at the pump. If you're commuting every day, if you're driving for work or for kids, it could add up to a couple of $100s a year. So if you are driving a lot, Jersey could be a little bit more cost efficient on fuel. The other thing to mention is that in Jersey, they're gonna pump your gas for you year round, no matter it's hot in the summer, cold, wet, rainy in the winter. You could stay in your car, turn it off. They're gonna pump it, fill it, do all of that for you. In PA, you do have to get out no matter the season, no matter the climate, and pump it yourself. When it comes to everyday purchases like weekly grocery runs, the costs are going to be pretty similar. The one thing to keep in mind is that Jersey has a 6.625% sales tax. PA is a little bit lower at 6%. So when you are checking out at the stores, you're going to pay a little extra in Jersey. So if it's not a deal breaker, it's just something to be aware of. The other pro tip is that Jersey also charges for plastic bags. So when you're checking out at Wawa or the grocery store, they will charge you for every bag that you use to carry out of the store. That can be 5 to 10 cents per bag. Now, when we get to income tax, things start to get a little different. In Pennsylvania, the income tax is flat across the board. It's 3.07% no matter how much you make. So if you're making $100,000 a year, you're gonna pay about $3,000 in state income tax. Now, in New Jersey, the tax system is a little different. It's gonna go up and down the more that you earn and the less that you earn. So for that same $100,000 salary, you're gonna be paying closer to $4,000 in state income tax. So if you are higher in a higher income tax bracket, the New Jersey state income tax rate is gonna get pretty steep, and that can definitely add up over time. So here's a side-by-side analysis of costs in Jersey and PA. The average property tax in Jersey is 2.47%. Gas prices in Jersey are about $3.50 a gallon. Sales tax in Jersey is about 6.625%. And the income tax in Jersey ranges anywhere from 1.4% to 10.75%. In Pennsylvania, the costs are a little bit less. The average property tax is 1.58%. The average gas price is $3.70 a gallon. Sales tax is 6% and income tax is 3.07%. Flat across the board, no matter how much you make. Let's talk about transportation, because if you're someone that needs to get around without a car, you're gonna wanna know which side has better options. It's a pretty big deal, especially if you're someone who doesn't wanna drive every single day. So in PA, you're gonna mainly rely on SEPTA. This is a regional rail system. It connects Philly suburbs to Center City. It does a really good job for people who are commuting into Philly every day. The trains are pretty reliable. You've got access to a bunch of different lines that cover major areas in the suburbs, Chester County, Bucks County, County, Montgomery County. If you live a bit further out like Westchester or Lansdale, you might need to drive to get to some of your other direct stations, but everything is super accessible. They've got parking lots, and it's overall a 40 to 50 minute commute at the furthest end into the city. In Jersey, you're gonna get your own options as well. One of the big ones there is Patco. It's a rail line that goes from Camden to Philly. So if you live in areas like Hollingswood to Haddonfield, just outside of the city, you're gonna have a pretty quick train ride from there into the city. Once you get outside of those areas, it's gonna rely a lot more on buses and cars. So towns like Voorhees, Cherry Hill, they're gonna be more spread out, and just public transit is not gonna be as accessible as it would be in some of those more densely packed areas. So rely on buses, cars, Ubers and Lyfts are all available as well. And some of these towns are pretty bikeable as well. So if you wanted to get on a bike or do something like that, you could definitely do that too. And now here's a little curveball, and this is where it pays to get an expert, someone like myself who has lived in this area for their entire life. They know both areas just like the back of their hand. The PA suburbs tend to be a little bit overall, the PA suburbs tend to be a little bit more walkable and bike friendly. And I know that my walkers and my bikers are gonna appreciate this more. A lot of towns in the Philly suburbs overall have just decent infrastructure for walking and biking. Think about towns like Westchester, Doylestown, Ardmore, Ambler. You can just easily walk to cafes, parks, any types of unique boutique stores, restaurants. Over in Jersey, you're really not gonna get that unless you're down at the beach. So just like we had mentioned before with transportation, a lot of those towns are gonna be more spread out. You're gonna rely on cars, buses. You're just not gonna have that walkability, that downtown vibe. You're definitely in Pennsylvania, you're definitely gonna get a lot more of that charm, that historic charm. Think areas like Collegeville even. I've got a lot of videos up about some of these towns where just super walkable downtowns, historic tree-lined streets. You're gonna get that a lot more overall in the PA suburbs than you would in anywhere in the Jersey suburbs. All right, I wanted to take a minute and pause the video right here. Comment down below, what's one thing that you've learned that you didn't know before this video between PA and Jersey? Comment it down below, I'll wait. Okay, I'm getting back into the video. Now let's talk about one of the most important considerations when making a move, and for me, my family, this was definitely one of the most important things to consider when we bought our house, was the school system. So how do these overall rankings compete? What are the qualities of school, the student-teacher ratios? And we're gonna break it down between the Philly suburbs and the Jersey suburbs overall, just what you can find in differences of schools, which are better, which are rated, and really let you make the decision on which one you wanna choose. Over on the Philly side, you're gonna find towns like Lower Merion, Radnor, Upper Dublin, all known for having top-rated schools. The districts are consistently just scoring high in academic rankings. You're gonna find tons of public and private schools that are known for strong test scores. There is just a huge variety of choices, whether you're looking for public, private, specialized programs, even charter schools, boarding schools. Pennsylvania is gonna have a variety of options. On the Jersey side, you're gonna have towns like Cherry Hill and Morristown that stand out for their excellent school districts. These are gonna be consistently ranked among the top in their state. The one thing that I did wanna point out is that though Jersey does have more schools, overall more schools in an area than Pennsylvania does have a better variety of schools, just like we were talking about in places like the King of Prussia and Valley Forge and Ardmore. You're gonna have public schools, private schools, boarding schools. You're gonna have a different variety, more variety of schools in Pennsylvania than you would in New Jersey. In terms of class sizes, you might notice that classes in Jersey tend to be a little bit larger than in the Philly suburbs. It's not always the case, but generally speaking, the PA schools just tend to have a lower student-teacher ratio. So if you are someone who's looking for more personal attention or smaller learning environment, these PA schools might be a little bit more stand out for you and help in that area. All right, let's talk about real estate, because I'm sure whether you're buying or renting, you're probably wondering what type of home that you could afford for your budget. On the PA side, you're gonna find a ton of historic homes. They're gonna be full of charm, big colonial style homes, traditional style properties, especially in places like the main line. These homes are gonna have a ton of character. You're gonna have hardwood floors, big grand staircases, classic architecture. And because of this charm, because of the demand that they bring, they have appreciated a ton over the years, especially as more and more people have moved out of the city into the suburbs, want more space, expand on their family. The main line is one of the more desirable areas. It's gonna come at a price. The homes here can be very expensive. Often a lot of these homes are starting at $1 million plus. Over in Jersey, you're gonna find newer developments, suburban style homes. These are gonna be more modern. You're gonna get more space for your money, just like we talked about with the transportation. Bigger yards, more square footage, Mount Laurel, Voorhees, Cherry Hill, tons of spacious homes. Very appealing if you're looking to spread out. These are gonna be newer homes built in the last, say, 20 to 30 years. So you're not gonna get that same old school charm, not that same colonial style, but you're gonna get a ton of room to spread out, and a lot of things are gonna be more modern, convenienced, and newer warranty, stuff like that. Just like we had talked about, property taxes in Jersey are gonna be significantly higher than in PA, so you might find a great deal on a home there, but you do have to keep the property taxes in mind with your budget. On top of that, whether it's PA or Jersey, a lot of things that, something that's gonna be very common in both of these areas is gonna be a homeowners association, an HOA, and a lot of times they're gonna have a fee. So it could be anywhere from 30 bucks a month, it could be several hundreds of dollars a month, and they'll do things like maintain community amenities and roads, trash, stuff like that. So that could be another factor when looking at the two differences in properties and real estate, what those HOA fees look like. All right, let's talk about some things to do, because whether you like hanging out outdoors, you like shopping, even just kicking back and relaxing, I'm gonna tell you exactly what you can expect. So on the PA side, you're gonna have that beautiful main line. It's gonna provide a ton of outdoor activities. A short drive from that in Valley Forge, you're gonna have beautiful hiking trails, a ton of history to explore. If you are looking to relax, you can go to Longwood Gardens. That is a botanical garden that you can just wander through, look at the blooming flowers. If you're a city person, you've got Philadelphia. It's going to be packed with things to do no matter the time of year. So you can go to museums like the Philadelphia Art Museum, go to a live event, concerts, sporting events, Eagles, Phillies. You can grab a dinner. They've got countless restaurants, quick bites, fine meals. You're literally never going to be bored. There is always something happening in the city. Over in Jersey, obviously the draw is going to be the Jersey Shore. So if you love the beach, that's going to be a major perk. From Cape May to Ashbury Park, you're gonna have some of the best beaches on the East Coast, literally at your doorstep. Jersey also has parks, forests for camping, hiking, even just getting outside for a day. You're gonna have places like Wharton State Forest, you're gonna have Pinelands National Reserve. A lot of these, you can get some pretty nature-focused activities in, hiking, biking, stuff like that. Then you have little smaller towns like Haddonfield that are just super charming, quaint little towns, cute shops, local spots to explore and hang out in. And then you have the mall. So you're gonna have the Cherry Hill Mall, you're gonna have the Morristown Mall. Jersey is literally gonna have you covered for all of your shopping needs, your dining needs. You could spend a ton of time in both areas. So there you go, the Philly suburbs versus the Jersey suburbs. Each side is gonna have its own perks just depending on what you're looking for. That could be taxes, schools, real estate, or even just things to do in your free time. It's completely up to you to decide. The best part is that I can help you in Jersey or PA. Reach out to me down below. I've got email, my phone number, even a Zoom link to a free Zoom consultation. If you like this video, like the video, comment down below, and then hit that bell so that you never miss another video. Until next time, I will see you around the neighborhood.